guys? Clubhouse Sports, welcome back. Y'all guys a hot week betting, and he decides to take the week off, so we're gonna see how that affects his bets. But we got a couple special guests to fill in. We'll start in Columbus, Ohio, with good guy Webb.
Hey, Alec Weber here. Happy to join the Clubhouse Sports podcast on this fine evening of November 2nd. It's really dark out here tonight.
Thanks for that. And then in Chicago, Illinois, we got our guy Chip.
Jesus, let's just get this going here.
Let's get it going. Welcome to the pod, fellas.
Welcome, boys. I have to say, Chris, wait, are you in your kitchen?
This is my life, Weber. My bedroom is I literally live in the closet, okay?
Where's your bed?
It's in the closet. It's right there.
Sorry. We're not recording here. Sorry, go ahead. Back to
what do you want to start with today, Webb?
World Series. That's probably my least favorite sport. So let's just get it out of the fucking way.
Lead us off then. What do you got for us?
I love what the Braves are doing here. Not sure who's on the team at all. I couldn't name a single player, but I love that they're kicking ass against the Astros.
Yeah, I hope they pull it off too.
So I'm really pulling. I got the game on. Don't really watch baseball, so.
Happy to have you in our element. Chris, you got anything to touch on the World Series? I know you're a big baseball guy.
Yeah, I know the Braves shortstop's name's Dansby. So, he's a killer. He's got an 18-inch, batting stick. Wink, wink. And this guy Jorge, he's got hair that looks like came out of the ring. And who's Tom Hallion, third base?
Yeah. All right, Chris, this is riveting stuff. We're reading
Remember the
rosters on the podcast.
He's down there in Atlanta. I think he's been to one of the games here, so I hope he's getting that full experience.
Yeah, Battery Park's.
I'm not sure what type of I'm not sure, Kyle. What fan is he in baseball? Is he a Cleveland? I don't think he's a Tribe fan.
Who, Magana?
Yeah, I don't think he's really.
I think he's been going down representing. So he's probably a new Braves
living
fan.
down there. So shout out Mike Magana.
No.
Oh, no, I think he's a Cubs fan. He's one of those weak Cubs fans.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
but I think this year he's definitely a Braves.
Probably.
I hope he hears that one. But, Paulie, Tom, anything to add on the baseball front? Because we love to start out the pod with our most riveting sports.
Well, you don't seem so excited about it, but it's actually been a fantastic postseason. I hope the Braves wrap it up tonight as well. As I'm tuned in here, as Eddie Rosario takes the batter's box, batting left-handed to lead off. Definitely hope they get it done. I don't think they will. I think it'll go to 7 games. The Braves win the night, the Astros win the night, but I think the Braves got it in Game 7.
Wow, there you go. Paulie?
Like I said before, I haven't watched I've watched that one inning of the Yankees game. That's about it all year. But following in, 2 more games, maybe Game 7, we'll give it a follow.
Yeah, this is my second team I picked to win the championship. I'm trying to get them to hold on by a thread, but I think that's plenty.
I will say with the World Series being done, finally then we can get on with the Tribe. Get in some. I don't know. We get some new people in there, I guess.
The Guardians.
Who's the Tribe?
We'll probably get rid of everyone like we always do.
All right.
We got rid of our logo. Let's get rid of the players too.
There we go.
Revamp.
Let's go play. Let's go watch the Guardians play. Like, how dumb is it? Feels like I'm going to go watch the indoor arena football team.
We're already getting sued. By the rollerblading squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's tough. You can't even pick a good enough name for the fans to like it, but then you're getting sued for the name.
You know what really sucks is that their logo, the roller skaters logo, is cooler than ours.
You got any more insight? Because I know that they got sued, but when did this come about? Because it just kind of popped up.
Well, it's they're in Cuyahoga Falls, I'm pretty sure. So they probably one of the Dolans was just driving down freaking Chagrin and saw they were rollerblading around. And it's you know what? I'm taking it. And he took it, and they're suing him now. I got real insight here, okay? I got on the call here.
Good stuff. It is a pretty fascinating story here.
He knows the guy, yeah.
You guys could have had me bet on that we'd be hammering baseball this hard with Webb and Chip, but we'll move on. New insiders for us, for MLB correspondents. So the college football playoff rankings just got released, and Yeah, people are mad because Alabama's 2 and Cincinnati's 6. Tom, as probably the biggest supporter of Cincinnati football on the pod, at least prior to today, maybe we'll find out. How are your reactions?
I mean, it is concerning for Cincinnati fans larger than myself, because for them to start off the year 6 and them not having any big games left definitely puts them in a bad spot. But you take a look at some of the teams in front of them, like Michigan State, Ohio State. I mean, they got to play each other. So somebody's getting beat there. I think Cincinnati's got a shot, but you definitely would not be happy this evening. If you're a diehard UC fan, you'd be a little upset.
Webb, have you been impressed with what Luke Fickell's had to offer so far? Fellow Ohio State brethren going to UC and really building a program?
Yeah, they definitely need to close games. Want to go playing against that 1-5 or 1-6 Navy, and really, I watched that game live. So it was not pretty at all. I know they have that triple option there at Navy, but my goodness. And then they played that other shitty team the week before. That's what I was watching the college football guy talk, and he was just saying pretty much Cincinnati. They're impressed with the Notre Dame win, in Trent's hometown. That's thanks for you.
Yeah.
But I think Cincinnati, they'll be fine because obviously Alabama and Georgia will play. If Cincinnati just wins out, they know. I mean, they'll be fine. But
you got anything to add, Chip?
Oh yeah. I keep forgetting my name's still Chip to you guys. How the hot sand was Oregon 4? Who the hell is Ohio State? But who they beaten, like, besides us?
Exactly. They beat high. They were ranked high.
But
yeah, I mean, that's the only reason that they're ahead of Ohio State, because they beat them. You can't put Ohio State ahead of Oregon, no way.
By like Appalachian State or something this past week.
Yeah, they play some shit teams. Tom, I think Ohio State will end up being able to pass Oregon if they beat 2 top 10 teams, but there's still got a ways to go in the season.
Yep, playoffs aren't tomorrow, so.
No, but speaking of teams that people are fans of on this pod, Chuck's not here to represent, but Kyle, as the number 1 Caleb Williams supporter, what did you think of Oklahoma being down there at 8?
I would say that in Cincinnati were the most surprising things so far. Especially the fact that, like you guys said, you have a 1-loss Oregon team and a 1-loss Ohio State in front of both of those. So for Cincinnati's sake, they've had their 2 marquee wins. So, what do they do down the stretch if they need possibly 4 teams to lose in front of them? I think Oklahoma still kind of controls their own destiny with the Big 12 championship. And being undefeated still. So
yeah, they got 2 teams in the top 12 left before the Big 12 championship game. So I think kind of like Ohio State, if they are proved to win all those games, you're going to see them moving up the polls and definitely jumping Cincinnati if Oklahoma's to be able to stay undefeated and Ohio State has 2 more top 10 wins. But we'll see. Crazier things.
I see you only talking about Ohio State.
Well, I'm saying Michigan State's already in there. Michigan State's already in there.
Yeah.
No, I'm not disrespecting them. I'm talking about teams.
Should we lead to this, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Ohio State the team in the Big Ten there?
I don't know. You texted on Saturday. Full disclosure, I'm sitting in the Pies and Pines in Columbus, Ohio, before the Ohio State-Penn State game, and I get a text from Kyle Balachicchio saying he had a big declaration for the pod. And at that time, Michigan was up against Michigan State, so I was thinking it was going to be a Michigan declaration, but let's see what he's got.
I was going to be bold and say this would definitely be the year for Michigan. Don't know that for sure, but I can definitely say that I don't think Ohio State makes it through both of the Michigan teams. So that's kind of my bold take right now.
That's bold.
Chris, what's your reaction? I see you have something to say.
So I've been bitching at Trent for like 3 weeks. He's like, oh, Mason's an idiot, which, hey, touche. But you know what? I've said if Michigan could actually develop the goddamn passing game, they have a real shot to beat us this year, because other than their freaking what's his name, Cade, that douche McNamara.
Yeah,
McNamara, really chip.
He has the freaking arm strength of a popgun weasel. Like that guy can't throw it past 5 yards without his arm trembling. His ball's too heavy for his weak wrist.
Yeah, I mean, but you need to be able to pass to win football games now.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they played that freshman quarterback of theirs, who I think it was against was it Minnesota?
Wisconsin, he fucked Wisconsin.
Yeah, it was Wisconsin. But they put in their backup. That guy actually has talent. I think the coming years, old khakis up there is going to be making me tremble a little bit here.
Paulie, what's the name of that quarterback?
JJ McCarthy, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he looked like a good football player. But speaking of a team with not good football players, Thomas's playoff team for pick from a couple weeks ago, Iowa, now have lost 2 games and unable to put up any sort of points against a Wisconsin team that lost to both Michigan and Penn State. Where are we at with Iowa, Tom?
What do you think? They're ranked 22nd, so they're out of the picture.
I just mean could they potentially find themselves a 4 or 5 loss team by the end of the year in your eyes?
I would still bet against that.
No, that's something I was asking.
4 or 5 losses. I don't see that happening still. I mean, they were underdogs against Wisconsin, and they're not a top 4 team, but to have 4 or 5 losses, I think is a stretch too. I definitely think they're still a top 25 team. And I don't know what the other divisions look. I don't know if they're going to have a shot at the Big Ten championship. Like, are they going to be playing in it or not?
I mean, so if they lose again, they're at the potential to get passed up by Wisconsin or Minnesota because Minnesota's actually only has 2 losses right now. So that's why I was saying they have to play Minnesota, and then they could have a bowl game loss or another loss to somebody else. So it's –
I'll still say they'll make it to the Big Ten championship.
Are they still in the driver's seat over Wisconsin if they were both to win out?
I think that's how that works. Does head-to-head matter, or is it just overall total record?
I would guess overall conference record.
So they still have the 1 win over Wisconsin, so I think they're going to be straight unless they will lose again. But then that would invite Minnesota to have a chance to play in the game, which everybody was killing Ohio State but for losing to 14 by Minnesota, and they're now ranked 22.
Win it by 14?
Yeah, win it by 14.
Winning by 14.
Win it by 14.
All right. Trying to think. Kyle, did you want to touch on any more of that Michigan State-Michigan game? I know that we kind of talked about it broadly, but there's a player I know you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I thought Michigan was going to win this game, especially mid-game. There's something about Michigan State this year, what they have going, and definitely I think Kenneth Walker put himself right into top 3 for the Heisman consideration. So I think we've seen that Michigan State's legit for sure. I think both of those teams still got a shot for the Big Ten championship with both having to play Ohio State still.
Webb, you catch any of the Michigan State-Michigan game?
No, I don't think.
Chris?
Let's see. I caught the tail end of it. But yeah, not the whole thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's some riveting content from the baseball correspondents. Tom, anything to round out the Big Ten or anything else in college football this week?
No, I mean, just with the Michigan State game, I mean, I think you can throw the records away every year because it's always a close game, and Michigan State happened to have the home edge. I think it gave them an advantage. They had to make a heck of a comeback, but yeah, kudos to them. They're both good, I think.
Yeah, they seem like both top 5 to 7-ish teams. So that's.
You think Penn State fires that baldy Franklin?
I think he's going to get the USC job. You can
Dude, it's either him or Coach O.
Yeah, I mean, which is sad.
Coach Bergeron his birthright was LSU. I mean, LSU was his homeland.
Our audio listeners are going to love that one. But, I think Penn State is going to find themselves back in the top 25. I was a little surprised they were left out, but they got 3 losses. You're susceptible to that. But, yeah, I think the Big Ten is probably the more compelling conference right now because it's all going to come down to the SEC championship either way. So,
think if Georgia loses to Alabama, they're not getting in?
No, I don't think there's any way that either one loss Alabama or Georgia gets left out. No way.
They'll find a way to put Alabama in there.
And
they've lost one already.
Could they put Bama in if they lose a second game? They were
No.
taught. You don't think they will?
They have to. They have to.
If they don't
I
put
hope
Cincinnati in this year, they're never getting in. There's no shot.
I could see a world where they put a 2-loss Bama in.
Or if Alabama if Ohio State, Bama the big teams don't make it in, this is when they'll expand the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that they're kind of locked in.
That's already just a matter of time.
Yeah. So yeah, the UC fans are gonna be crying for a while. Has anyone watched any NBA this year? Anything they'd like to just throw in there? I didn't really have a segment.
Avs off to a hot start.
Lakers winning it all.
You're gonna put you on your NBA championship pick, Webb. Lakers over who?
Cavs. Cavs make a big splash. Get Ben Simmons, Evan Mobley. We'll have a big lineup with Ben Simmons. Put Evan Mobley at the 2. Put McMahon at the 3. I don't know, but
You really like to see the Cavs
Jared
future in the
Allen.
league. Yep.
I mean, we've got so many walking double-doubles. I mean, they get one more stud in there. It's a playoff team right there.
Chris, what do you got as your
Sleeper 8 seed.
championship matchup, Chris?
This year I think it's gonna be probably like stupid Lakers, and I don't know, I think the Heat are gonna make it. I don't know why. I think it's that Tyler,
Tyler Hero.
the palette, yeah, him.
He might get 6th man of the year, Tyler. I'll tell you. Why is my phone?
Silence your cell phones, please, Webb.
Can you
Come
hear
on,
that?
man. Yeah, we can hear that. You have
That's through
Unprofessional.
my Mac. I don't know why I can.
It's just all of his insiders.
yeah, he's got all his shit coming in.
Tell Adam Schefter he'll call him back.
yeah.
No, I have it pulled up on my it won't let me put do not disturb on the one on my on the computer.
It's all right, Webb. You're trying your best.
Chip is the worst in fantasy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Chris is just the Browns.
Listen, it's not a bad strategy. Okay, like
It doesn't help when you're both starting running backs are out.
Somehow Trent got lucky this week, but I mean he sucks anyways. But he got.
I beat the shit out of you this week. It was disrespectful.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes not doing what I don't know what he's got up his ass, but
Jackson Mahomes, that's what's up his ass.
he's looking like him and Baker are now looking like the same thing. But we didn't.
Baker's fine, okay? Don't you dare slander him.
Let's just get into it.
$500 million yet, so we're good.
Let's just get into that then. Odell Beckham Jr. versus Baker Mayfield today. Odell Beckham Sr. was putting out some clips that
We could have traded the whole team, honestly.
what's that?
I'm kidding.
Well, who do you want
We're good.
traded? Are you team Odell or are you team Baker, Webb?
No, I think we're they've got to stick through it. I mean, they could. The only reason they dump him would just be for that 15 mil. But I think you at least try to get something for him in the off season, if anything, if they doesn't work out. But I think you get rid of a Baker too. What do? You keep Juice and Odell, but it's like I don't want to fucking pay Odell 15.
Chris, I'll let you go with this one. Saw you.
Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
You child, Weber. Yeah, put your head down. Okay, it is Team Baker. Baker Mayfield's playing with half an arm right now. We literally have a high arm with body.
Don't play Kate. We have the best backup. What do you mean in the league? We have the best backup in the league.
What are you? Case Keenum. Did you watch him in that Broncos game?
Did you know the weather? Baker would have done. We would have scored 0 points. We. What do you mean? Did you see him?
Did you see him? You didn't answer my question. Did you see him watch?
Did he get the W? Did he get the W?
Yes.
Yes.
Not
Did Baker
because
get the
I'm
W?
freaking Case Keenum.
Baker
This
can't even.
is besides the fact, okay? Freaking, it is statistically proven that we play worse with Odell. He's a child. Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry have spent 3 goddamn years building a team that's respectable and calm. And now he had to bring literally Daddy Odell, Daddy LeBron, to Bomani Jones to come like, get Odell, free him. How much you want to
Kyle.
Oof, well, how can I come off of that one? I think there's problems with both of them. I don't think we should let either of them off the hook. Like we said, one's getting paid, 14, 15 million a year, and the other wants 35 to 40 million a year, and they're not playing like, $10 million players. So I think if with as much as they have invested in Baker, and if for some reason Odell is this much of a problem for him, right or wrong, I think they're going to side with the quarterback in the end. It's just, it's always excuses for Baker, whether he doesn't have weapons or doesn't have the right weapons, or this guy's a cancer. So at some point, you also need to look at him too, I'd say.
When did we start winning? Oh, sorry. Go.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
When did we start winning? When we got Baker Mayfield against the Jets game on Thursday night, okay? He changed his entire organization. So, yeah, Baker gets a pretty long goddamn leash in Cleveland.
I think they've also put A-class personnel around Baker as well. I think they put him in a position to win. I get, you're talking about garbage quarterbacks, and we've never seen anything even average, but they talk about Super Bowl aspirations, and they seem to be okay with average maybe too, because it's not bad. A lot of Browns fans like Chip. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think that I'm siding more with Chip on this. Like, yeah, Baker's at fault, but he's definitely not at fault for the Steelers game on Sunday. I mean, so it's never been an excuse about the weapons either. That's definitely probably what's been like, I would say downgrading him, if anything, is like he gets not a whole lot of credit just because he does have a great team around him. But I mean, I'm with Chip. Like, he's helped turn the organization around. It's not like who do you want to get next year? Who's out there?
That's a great point. Webb, do you have something?
Yeah, I got it. So, what if
biggest Baker Mayfield Browns fan hater I've ever met in my life, by the way. But
who?
Go ahead before you shit on him. Just wanted to get it out the way.
I'm saying,
Go Beaverhead.
You like that? You like that? Instead of Odell, why? I think with what we have, we're obviously a run first, and with the line issues, we're resorting into passes, and it's just changing our whole offense. We're a run first, and we're not doing that with everyone hurt. And then our line, we got Blake Hance as our backup. We got, he's not a run type of guy that's going to be blocking on every type, down. Going against these high level, J.J. Watt. I mean, he's hurt now, but J.J. Watt's.
I mean, with all due respect, he did it in the playoff game last year.
One game. Jack Cochran's going to be out for another 4. He's out. Now that's our right tackle. Who's our right tackle now?
Yeah.
Blake Hance.
To go off something you said about Odell with being in a run-first offense generally. Chris, you said something to me earlier today when I talked to you about Stefanski with high-level wide receivers that I hadn't really thought about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so think about it. So Stefanski came from the Vikings, right? And the Vikings had Stephon Diggs. And when he was in Stefanski's offense with the Vikings, Stephon Diggs kind of became a non-factor. And then he goes to the Bills, and he's back to being Stephon Diggs. I mean, I just don't think Stefanski's offense is built for, that superstar Moss-level type of receiver. And that's fine. It just doesn't work. Then, cut loose with Odell. We're all happy, okay? Because we let's be honest, the players that perform well, the receivers that perform well are the Donovan Peoples-Jones, the freaking Mitchell Schwartzes, the freaking.
Yeah, I like having young rookies come up and see wide receivers. 5 yards, move the ball,
Yeah, Paulie, what do you think about that Stefanski's offense not fitting an alpha number 1 receiver very well? Because I didn't heard that, and I like that.
I think we all agree. Obviously, their identity is behind the run and setting up everything off of that. But I think whatever offensive coach it is, you need some sort of passing game and some sort of explosive passing game, especially when the run's kind of being taken away and you get those long yardage situation where it's drop back pass. So, I think there is times where Stefanski, runs things for Odell, and I think possibly there's just not a connection between the quarterback and him.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I'll just say that.
Yeah, no, and I'll let Tom finish this off after I just say something real quick. We kind of talked about how, like, Baker hasn't shown to be able to do the drop back pass game to win the game. And I think Stefanski's kind of been trying to go to it this year to see if it works, to try to see if we can do something like that late in the postseason. And it hasn't been working, obviously. So I think it's going to end up resulting with Odell being moved in the offseason. I think the management's going to be tied to Baker unless we can take a swing at Rodgers or Russell Wilson and they actually want to be here. But I don't see that as realistic, probably. Tom, what do you have to add?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's probably time to move on for OBJ if that's what he wants. And we'd love to have him and make it work, but it doesn't seem like it is. And at this point, it looks like a guy like Rashard Higgins, who we've kept all these years, is obviously has a much better connection.
Yeah.
So he should see more snaps for sure. I don't know why he doesn't see the field. But let's keep in mind that Baker's also definitely not 100%. I mean, I still have faith in him. He's probably not going to perform at the level that we saw him last year this year. So we'll need everyone else to step up if we want to make a run at the playoffs.
All right. I think unless anyone else has anything to add, I just wanted to touch on one other player that wasn't traded and is not going to be traded. Probably we're not going to be on the field anytime soon, Deshaun Watson. Chris Webb, I just wanted to get a take of what you thought of Deshaun Watson's availability going forward and whether he's going to be moved anytime soon or on the field.
Who's his lawyer?
He might be with Henry Ruggs. They might be cellmates. I'll tell you that. If depending on how many of these allegations are true or not. I haven't really done too much research within the last since it all came out. So what is the latest on it? Is there?
There's not.
I scrolled on something. Sorry, Webb. I scrolled on the Twitter and I saw Miami was giving calls about him, but they wanted, from what I've heard, they wanted settlements in all 22 cases for these women. And like Chris said, who's the lawyer? The lawyer came out and said he's not budging, not giving in to any of that. So unless another team, knows that, they can get off these legal issues, I don't see him being moved. And the lawyer's going to continue to fight for his clients.
Is he with the Texans, like in the facility, or no?
No, he is not practicing or anything. But
he's just like working out, chilling at home.
He's still paid though, right?
Yeah, he just has to be on their roster. So like they kind of just sent him home and made him not part of the active roster. But they still have to pay him, and he's still a spot on. They're still using a roster spot on him. So it's kind of
also on the active roster for this week. He'll be their backup quarterback.
He's the third guy. So they pick 7 guys not to dress every week, and they've picked him every week as one of the 7 not to dress.
Huh. So I
think you're going to see him on the field anytime soon.
So why wouldn't they have just cut him?
Because they think they can get something to trade him for. So that's why they're just holding him and they're wasting a spot. Yeah. But I mean, Tom, do you see any team trading for him until something's settled?
No.
Yeah.
Especially with what the asking price from the Texans probably is.
I think the Texans are going to end up getting screwed out of this. I really do, because I think this is going to carry on.
They already have been, really.
Yeah, which is, I mean, not that that's the important things of the story, but just looking at it from the sports business side of it, they went from having their best player on their roster to we have to trade him for 5 first-round picks to now can we get 3? So it'll be.
And like we said, paying a guy not to work is always a problem.
Yeah. And to go into another guy who might be getting paid not to work for a little while here until this gets settled. Chris, you told me you wanted to talk about Henry Ruggs getting a DUI and killing someone, so I'll give you the floor here.
Henry Ruggs, my boy. Okay, so first off, he's in Las Vegas. So, I mean, DUI up there is a lot different than anywhere else in the country, It's a whole different number, I'm pretty sure. It's probably, you got to be like having like a bottle of tequila in your arm for it to be considered a DUI. So he must have been on a whole different level. And, thoughts out to the family that got killed. Yes. But he's not like, okay, so first off, Henry Ruggs is not even that good of a receiver, so it's not going to be like a huge, sports thing. But
you're lucky Chuck's not here.
In terms of Las Vegas, this is huge.
Tom, you got anything to add? We talked about Henry Ruggs a little too much here. Is the number one receiver of the Oakland Raiders this season, the Vegas Raiders this season. Do you think we're going to be seeing him on the field anytime soon?
I mean, no.
No, never again.
He's pretty screwed.
That's not true. O.J. Simpson was back in freaking Bills Mafia this past weekend, man. Forgive all, man. Forgive all.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. So if I honestly haven't read much up on this. So if you get a DUI and you kill someone, you're like going to jail, like no matter what.
I would guess so.
It's involuntary manslaughter. I would.
But it's the NFL, so I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we watched
They
Rice.
sweep that off like.
Yeah, but it's in Nevada, so he won't even get parole. So he'll just be.
How do you know that?
It's in one of the news articles. I don't know if it's who it's by, but
You don't get parole in Nevada?
not with that sentence, not with whatever he did with the DUI.
Oh, shit. So there. I thought you meant like
So-
just in general in Nevada there isn't parole.
No,
Okay.
so he'll get up to
yeah.
like 20 years, maybe with a deal or something that he gets,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Damn.
7 or 8.
Now, are they still on the hook for his salary like they are with Gruden?
No, I would guess.
They might
I
be.
think
They might be
terminate,
until they like actually charge him and get him booked. But I don't think they like will be in the long term. No. Tom.
Hunter Renfro's stock is rising.
Anybody want to add anything before we take a break?
Wide receiver 1 coming at you.
It's first station identification for the.
You're going to be starting Adrian Peterson this week, Webb, for your fantasy team after getting their asses
Sometimes you got to
handed.
take risk,
Is he even going to be active?
He has fantasy. He has 6 points. He says, and you
I
never
mean-
know. He could sneak a touchdown or two in. You never know.
It is a take ball, run ball job, I guess. But to get
So
into
you
what we're talking about there, Derrick Henry out
Oh,
for the
he's
year.
playing the Rams, so Hall of Famers against Hall of Famers. It's what Von Miller, unbelievable. That is just insane. I can't wait to play with him on Madden. I will tell you that.
Did he get LASIK surgery yet, or is he still blind as a bat?
Who are we
wears-
talking
wears
about?
goggles.
Von Miller. I thought he was like blind as a bat. Like if he did like the 2-finger thing, he couldn't like see him.
But he knows how to get to the quarterback.
I had no knowledge about this Von Miller eye incident. I mean, I know he always is wearing glasses and goggles.
I
and
thought there was
stuff.
a thing where it's like he saw like 3 quarterbacks and always just picked the middle one, which I always thought was just dumb. But he
Seems
can't
to work
see.
pretty well for him.
Yeah. No, it's not. He hasn't tackled anyone in like 5 years.
Speaking of, all right, so Chris is gonna hop on Chuck's take that Von Miller is washed, but Von Miller was traded to the Rams for 2nd and 3rd. So Chris, you would not have traded a 2nd and 3rd for Von Miller.
No, they're out of their freaking minds. He's washed like an old-timey washboard. He sucks.
That was a good one, dude.
I know. Thank you.
What are you seeing out of Von Miller that you don't like?
What are you seeing that you do like? The guy's like 40.
Look what he did
32.
against the Browns before he got hurt. He was rushing. You get him, you get Aaron.
I mean, he's
Donald.
got 4.5 sacks this year. I would consider that to be more than decent.
Pretty relevant in a defense that's already pretty, and their offense is killing it. I mean, this is just going to put – who's going to stop this team?
Probably Brady. Let's be honest.
We're going to run right through them.
Yeah,
Brady just got smacked by the Saints. Did you watch that game?
Yeah, I did. Poor Jameis. Poor Joe Boo.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady did throw some insane interceptions, which was like, didn't look himself.
yeah. As I picked the Saints to make the conference championship before this season started, and all I gotta say is you guys are lucky that you got bailed out of me looking right with that take. I mean, this Saints team was taken to the Buccaneers like they always do, and Jameis was just getting ready to hit mid-season form. It's really a bummer to see another Super Bowl taken away from Sean Payton with injuries. What do you think, Tom?
I don't think they're going to be going to the Super Bowl this year, but they do always have the Bucs numbers, so they got the best of them yet again in the Superdome. Maybe Tom spent a little too much time out on Bourbon Street Saturday night.
Yeah, maybe he had some bad seafood. Who knows? So what are Super Bowl predictions from coming from Kyle P all the way down?
Are we talking at the start of the year, Webb, or now? Because it's looking a lot. Well, I will say, I think I had the Rams.
Yeah, you had a good
winning the Super Bowl, didn't I?
Yeah.
I think I had the Rams beating the Browns. So one's looking good, one not so much.
Who would you take now over the Browns?
Over in the AFC?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think every time a team's gotten to the top spot in the AFC, they've lost the next week.
I mean, these divisions are.
But I would say Buffalo. I would say Buffalo has been the most consistent team.
Best it's been, and however, I mean, this is it's insane.
That's what most of the AFC is. I mean, all divisions, but especially in North for sure.
Do we think like the AFC, like there's really that much good teams depth wise, or do we think it's kind of just a clusterfuck?
Well, it's a clusterfuck because there are that many good teams, I think.
You think that's
I
what
think
it
it's good competitive teams, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because
I think the Rams are just up there a little bit more.
Well, because like the NFC is dominated by a bunch of teams with like 1 or 2 losses, whereas like the AFC, there's like 9 teams within like 1 game. It's kind of like obviously we're all really downtrodden about the Browns being outside of the playoff picture right now, but if they win 2 straight, they could be the 2 seed. Like
it's like this with most divisions,
crazy.
really. I mean, probably 2 or 3 games between them. They're at the top.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see like we got a Chiefs team that's 4-4 going against a 7-1 Packers team this week. Like the Chiefs are favored as 4-4.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
Webb, what about you out of the AFC though? We know you're with the Rams too. Who would you take now if you had to pick now?
Jeez, I don't know. That's a hard one. I have no idea. I mean, obviously Buffalo's. I mean,
no guesses.
This is why we brought you on the pod to literally just say you plead the fifth on your AFC pick.
On the AFC, it's like you said, it's wide open. I mean, there's no real distinctive team that really is pumping out to me, unfortunately. But the Bills.
We'll hold him to the Bills. So, Chris, what are your AFC and NFC picks as of now?
Unless I'm not thinking of a team, so.
I'm going to go Bills and Rams. I mean, I think the NFC champion is going to be Rams and Green Bay. I don't think – the Cardinals are so overrated. Like, dude, I hate
to the table. Welcome to the table with me and Chuck. Me and Chuck are calling them the worst 7-1 team and that's ever happened. I mean, I don't understand.
Dude, Kyler Murray drives me insane. He stinks, and he runs like Danny DeVito. I can't stand him.
That's it. Kyler Murray stinks. Let's put this on whatever quote board we have on this podcast.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray stinks.
We're clipping that
Chip
one for
Mason.
sure.
But he's doing better than Baker.
Is he really? I mean, how many times did he fumble this year?
Less than
probably less than Baker.
Come on, Webb, go to your
A QB leads the team.
He fumbled 6 times against the Browns in 1 game.
Oh, did he get the win? I don't really give a fuck how many times he
Are we actually throwing off facts here on this podcast? Was there 6 fumbles in the Browns game?
No way in fuck there was 6 fumbles.
Don't you remember he was literally hitting the ball?
That's exaggeration on everything. So 6 fumbles, bullshit. He didn't fumble 6 times.
Yes, he did. He was fumbling off his cankles. His little fat little ankles. Fuck him.
Okay. Chip.
All right.
Now we're going after body appearance of the guy.
I guess we're not getting Kyler Murray on the pod. Thanks, Chris. Tom, who's your Super Bowl pick right now?
He gnaws at ankles.
I honestly cannot remember who I even picked.
No, who's your pick now? You slept through that pod.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna not bet against Tom Brady, so I'm gonna take the Bucs still out of the NFC. And I mean, I hate to say it, but I like the Bills too. I think they're the cream of the crop in the AFC. So I'll circle the wagons with the Buffalo Bills.
Winning the whole thing?
You get the
no. Tom gets his 8th.
Yeah, I also preseason had the Bucs pulling it out again this year. That was also over the Browns. So I'm just gonna be contrarian and not pick the Bills because everybody else picked them. I'll say the Ravens get in. I'll say Lamar gets the opportunity to lose to Tom Brady and be added to the list of guys. Anything to Kyle? Your eyes seem to perk up a little bit on that.
Oh no, I just see it. Baltimore here on our pick board first. So, and you brought up Baltimore.
Yeah. So get to this week's picks. And that would have been a good transition that I fumbled. Minnesota. Oh, I guess I should go through the leaderboard first. So, we've been giving Chuck a lot of shit lately for his picks, and Chuck was down in the 37th percentiles, and Charlie continued to chastise Kyle and say, well, that Kyle wasn't that far ahead of him. And after a tough week for Kyle and a good week for Chuck, Chuck has surpassed Paulie's winning percentage by 13%.
Listen, the only thing I'll say before I storm back in this competition is probably darkest part of my year is my lock of the week. The Detroit Lions lost by 38 points. So that'll just show where I'm at with my picks right now. So you maybe should stay away from the teams I picked tonight.
Yeah, hey, so Paulie, you could go first.
Tom, let's go to the leaderboard for a second really quick. I forgot to go there. He's admonishing for being on my side. I have regained the lead over Tom. It's been going back and forth at my Keen 17, 16, and 1. Then we got Tom's 16, 17, and 1. Dude, I was counting up the scores this week for Yug, and I counted 3 times. Somehow he got up to 15, 18, and 1 after this past week. His lock of the week actually hit so it's high times for Yug. I'm surprised he didn't come at 15, 18, and 1. And then Paulie, 5, 11, and 1. We're at a 32.5% win percentage, but good week this week. You could find yourself in second.
Great optimism. There's always next week.
5-11-1. That's the Pat Shermer special.
And if Chris and Webb have a good week this week, who knows? They could be sitting atop the leaderboard and not wanting to come back and make picks.
Hey, I go 100%.
Yeah.
I'm not ever come back ever again.
Minnesota,
right,
Baltimore, Paulie.
We're
Webb
starting
gave you
it
the
off
floor.
there. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'm gonna take Minnesota right here. I do think Baltimore's the lead.
That's a big line. It's a big
in Baltimore.
line.
Yeah, it's a big line. I think Minnesota's always going to keep it close. I don't know if they win, but I like them to cover here.
Chup.
Actually, I'm going to take Minnesota too. I think Baltimore's overrated as hell, and Minnesota has a weird way of covering this year.
Except for last week. Tom.
Right.
Tom's lock of the week. Tom picked the Cowboys as his lock of the week after we picked them, not knowing Dak was going to be out, and still got the cover. Tom, congratulations.
Yeah, I definitely did not know that.
But
the boys got it done for me. I don't know if too many locks have done it for me yet this year, so shout out Cowboys. I like Baltimore in a close one, but by a touchdown. So I'll take Baltimore, and they get to cover at home.
Webb?
Baltimore cover at home.
Why is that? You got any keen insight for us?
I mean, you saw the Browns beat the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
And I think Baltimore is just going to – I mean, it's at Baltimore. I don't know what the weather is there, but Minnesota is a dome team. They come out there. It's going to – it could be 30 degrees there in Baltimore.
Yeah, that's a good point, Webb.
Minnesota, they come out and just – Kirk Cousins can't throw. But, yeah, I think I got Baltimore covering.
Yeah, and I'm going to take Baltimore covering as well. All right, we'll go into game 2. Pats traveling to Carolina, -3.5 New England on the road.
Wow. I'll take Carolina all day.
Carolina covering at home, that 3.5 spread.
Oh, sure. Give me that all day. What is that?
Webb, you see him stunned that Sam Darnold isn't the favorite quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, what they've done there, and who's that coach?
Matt Rule.
What have they done?
I thought Carolina was doing good.
They are 4-3.
If Webb came on the week 4 or week 3.5 pod, we would be good with the Panthers. Too bad it's going into week 9.
Better than they were, but sure, we'll still take that.
Tom, New England going into Carolina.
I love Belichick and the Pats here.
Yeah.
because I do think Carolina is pretty pitiful. And actually, New England's shown some life, and I mean, they play tough. I like them, and I like them to cover.
Yep. Mac Jones, Sam Darnold. What's not to like?
I am gonna go Carolina. I just this is a dumb game. I don't like it. And you know what? You can show up shoot.
Shouldn't have picked this one.
We'll put this on the freaking.
Kyle, you think
On
this is
the
a dumb game?
I think this is an intriguing matchup right here.
Yeah, I
I'll
thought
tell
so.
you. If you're leading to my pick, I'm going to go with New England here. I
Yeah.
think they have been
Poor shit.
consistently average to above average this year, and somehow will, I think, still be floating around come playoff time for maybe a wild card spot. And the other side, Carolina's been maybe the most, inconsistent two-side, this season football team. So I'm going to take New England here.
And we
Christian McCaffrey life has not treated the Panthers well.
he might go this week though, so that'll be interesting to see if he does. But the last thing I'll add when I make my pick is we all know what Bill Belichick did to Sam Darnold on Monday Night Football a couple of years. Don't think he's above throwing that same package at Sam Darnold, making them see ghosts again this week. I like the Pats by 10. All right, now the main event of the week. Cleveland rolling into Cincinnati, the Battle of Ohio. Cincinnati favored by 2.5 points. Chup, what do you think?
Coming down for Cleveland. You know me, ride or die, and it's most likely die, but I'm gonna ride with him.
He's got the Sherwin-Williams cap on to show it.
Right? Never forget.
Yeah, we got any tears on that cap anywhere?
No, but I got a piss stain on the inside of it.
What?
Yeah.
How'd
Who
that
peed in
happen?
it? Who peed in your Browns hat?
Huh?
Who peed in your Browns hat?
I did. I need to hide my ding-a-ling, and we were in public, so just put the cap down like a faucet and just let it rip. It's mesh, so it kind of like hit here and then roll down the. It's not very visual for the podcast.
And
Sorry.
I assume you put the hat back on right after you're finished.
I shook it off.
That's modest.
Yeah, I dried it.
Guy, you got a Cleveland Browns piss-soaked 2.5, or do you roll with Cincinnati?
Speak of piss, this football team right now. With that said, I'm going to take them this week. But they've been, I think, the last couple of weeks, one of the worst teams against the spread. But desperation can do crazy things for a football team. And I'm going to take Cleveland here over a young, intriguing Cincinnati team.
Webley?
I don't know if I don't know. I'm indecisive here with this 2.5 of who I want to take. Really would love to take the Browns, but we do have these other two going again. I'm really trying to think about my record. But the way Baltimore's line played, I think if are we healthy? The Browns line?
What does Baltimore's line have to do with anything?
Yeah, wait, we're doing Browns Bengals.
I meant the Bengals. I meant the
Okay.
Bengals. I said
Against Baltimore, yeah, you're saying against.
Yeah, Bengals line. Their offensive line going against. Is our defense strong?
I think defensively they should be healthy up front. Webb. Offense.
I think Myles Garrett gets maybe 2 or 3 sacks. We get a forced fumble in there. We get a game changer. We're winning by a touchdown. We're going Cleveland. Let's go.
I think that's a very intriguing point by Webb there.
I mean, their line's super young. You get Jadeveon Clowney and Malik Jackson.
Do we get Jadeveon? Is he healthy this week?
Won't throw for over 100 yards. That might be my take there. 100 yards, maybe a touchdown. Nick Chubb, 2 touchdowns, 200 yards.
Tom, who are you going to follow up the 200-yard, 2-touchdown Nick Chubb performance with?
I hope Webb is correct in that, and the fact that Myles Garrett gets 3 sacks and a strip sack. I thought that they were going to give Ben Roethlisberger hell last week, and it didn't really appear that way for the most part. So it pains me to say it, but I'm going to take the Bengals because I'm kind of a believer in them. They're pretty good. I mean, they did just lose to the Jets, but so did the Titans. That can be just kind of a look-over game. So I'd like to be wrong on this one, but I think Cincinnati wins.
Bastard.
I think it's going to be a really exciting game. I think it's going to come down to a field goal. I think that's when this hook is tough because I could easily see Cincinnati winning by 3, but I'm going to just take the points with the Browns. I don't think Cincinnati has much of a home field advantage. I'm not sure I've ever heard that stands really like make a difference in a game, and they're coming off a Jets loss, so they can't be that much better than the Browns. I'll take the points.
My big fear going to this game is that after all this, Daddy Odell horse shit, is that Kevin's going to get in his head and we're going to run a bunch of just streaking routes for Odell and just like Freddie Kitchens Baker is going to come out. I'm scared, man.
I don't know. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Stefanski's just way too level-headed to let anything like that change the way he calls a game. I mean, yeah, I do think you're going to see some more shots to Odell, but I don't think it's going to overpower their game plan as a whole. I just think that Cincinnati happens to be better at this point in the season, even though they did blow one against the Jets.
This game's on at 1 o'clock, correct?
Yep.
Obviously, I wouldn't beat down the question. Sorry.
You mean noon?
Shut it.
Oh,
This is an Eastern podcast, Chip. Get out of here with your Midwestern time zone.
If you were funny.
Speaking of the Midwestern time zone, we got a 4 o'clock matchup in Kansas City. Green Bay traveling Kansas City. The 7-1 Packers are road dogs. KC minus 1.5. Tom, who you like?
yeah, this line kind of blows my mind because the Chiefs just got done squeaking by the Giants. And Green Bay just got done beating Arizona on the road, who was undefeated at the time.
Thursday night.
Yeah, I don't know. This line doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I definitely like the Packers here. The Chiefs just have not impressed in the slightest, so I'm going with Packers.
Kyle, they still have some baked in Chief trust after beating the Giants by 3?
I have not lost faith in them. I still think they are what they are. But with that being said, again, I think you got to go with one of the most consistent teams, if not the most consistent team in football, compared to inconsistency and underwhelming. So I think, I was surprised here, like Tom said. I think Green Bay, no doubt here.
Web, are you going to be donning AJ's cheese hat and picking the Pack as well?
Yeah, Packers for sure. No doubt.
Why is that?
Actually, guys, I mean, Kansas City could come and
They are Kansas City, but what is Kansas City? They're a 500 team.
I don't know. It says it's even, actually.
You're seeing even?
I'm seeing even on the.
So who's your pick?
Where are you seeing even at?
I'm seeing even where it says it. Right here. See that? Even?
Who's your pick at even then, Webb?
We'll give it to you at even.
I don't know.
Jesus.
Doesn't know again. Second.
Just flip a
Just pick a fucking team.
He's so worried about that perfect record.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what? Let's go KC.
All right.
I've got him on my fantasy team.
Are you taking him? We'll give him at even. We'll give Web KC pick him.
No, you can give him plus whatever because they're gonna win by a touchdown.
Oh, all right.
Oh, that's bold.
All right, I'll give it to you that way. Chip, after all that time, you got a choice.
Yeah, I'm going to go Green Bay. I mean, Jackson Mahomes is going to do something weird to Cheese just to piss off Green Bay, like rub his hits on it or something. It's going to piss, Aaron Rodgers off, and they're just going to crap all over them.
Yeah, I think it should be interesting, but I am going to go with Green Bay to pull it out. I could see it being a back-and-forth game for a while, but sort of seems like teams have found a way to take out Kelsey the last couple of weeks. So if Green Bay is able to do that,
Yeah, if only the Browns could figure out how to take out from the game, that'd be nice.
yeah, that would be nice. But I'm gonna have Green Bay moving to 8-1. We talked last week about NFC teams we trust, and I think Green Bay is my second favorite team in the NFC right now. Now to another line I thought was kind of odd, and too bad we don't have Chuck here to touch this one. Arizona is only a 1-point favorite on the road at San Francisco. San Francisco hasn't beat anyone of note this year, taking care of business against bad teams, but lost to the Colts. Tom, is there any way you're taking Arizona -1 here? I mean, is there any way you're taking San Francisco +1 here?
There's no way I'm taking San Francisco +1 here. I like Arizona because, I mean, I'm a believer enough for me to say, like, they'll beat San Fran. It's a divisional game, so it's bound to be tight. But one possession, I mean, I'll take Arizona here to win.
Chris, I see you shaking your head here, and some of the comments you made early in this podcast will probably make waves in the football world. What do you have to say about this game?
Yeah, no, Tom, you can take your Happy Meal point QB. Yeah, have fun with that. I'm going to take San Francisco. Me and Chuck will be dancing on your graves.
Wow, that's graphic. Kyle, you got anything to add onto this game? I mean, a lot's been said.
Again, another surprising one. I personally think Arizona's legit. I think they showed something against Green Bay, even though they lost. And Green Bay wasn't, full, didn't have all their guys, coaches out there. I think Arizona played some sort of a flat game and was still there with the chance to win it at the end. So I think there's just two different levels of teams right now, Arizona.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Arizona, and I'm not a big Arizona guy, but I think San Francisco is a lot more of a toxic situation than I think we're giving credit to it right now. I mean, yeah, they beat the Bears last week without Matt Nagy, which is even a little more impressive than with Matt Nagy, but I don't know. I don't see Arizona being able to score with Kyler Murray. Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't proven to be able to win any sort of games with a high level of points. And I see this game being a little more high scoring. The last one, take Arizona. Webb, I gave you as much time as possible for this one. I can see you were stressed out. I see you do Arizona?
Yeah. I know Charlie's a San Francisco fan, so all Arizona.
Just to spite Chuck.
Yeah, all despite Chuck.
Webb, as the biggest J.J. Watt fan I know, somebody that was willing to take J.J. Watt in the 5th, 6th round for their defensive player spots in fantasy, what's it like to see him get injured for a contender and possibly not be able to compete for a Super Bowl title?
Yeah, it's a big blow for sure, definitely in his career, not just mine, and yeah, that's super shitty, but I think the Vikings will definitely be still in the running.
But Webb's a content factory when it comes to J.J. Watt. And then now, what we didn't get a chance to much touch on was Derrick Henry being done for the year. We'd all kind of championed that maybe the Titans were a top 2 to 3 team in the AFC with the clusterfuck that it's been. Chris, do they have any shot in beating the Rams this week or even keeping this one close without Derrick Henry?
Now, here's the thing. I think the Rams are going to win, but 7.5. I think Tennessee covers that spread. Like you said, they were a top 3 team. Great teams cover the spread. Go Tennessee.
You think A.J. Brown shitting his brains out is going to be enough?
No. Adrian Peterson, he's getting the switch ready for his kids, and they know game time's coming, and he's getting ready, man.
Webb, you have Adrian Peterson on your fantasy team. Are you going to be rocking with Tennessee plus 7.5? Or
no, we're definitely going Rams plus 7.5.
Well, you're going to get minus 7.5 for the Rams.
I mean, minus 7.5. But, I do think it's going to be, probably a high-scoring game. Probably I would go 35-21.
How? Webb's first score pick. You don't get bonus points for that, just so you know. But Tom, what do you
This
think?
one, I don't know. I mean, the line is a lot, even though Tennessee's down their main man. LA's been LA, so not super confident about it, but I do think the Rams just kind of overpower Tennessee in the long run. We'll see what kind of adjustments Tennessee can make without Derrick Henry and see if they can, throw the ball to Julio and A.J. Brown consistently. But I'm going to just go with my gut and say the Rams.
What's the is Von Miller, is he still hurt?
No, I think he's gonna be good to go.
Is he going to be able to play?
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting. Sorry to interrupt there, Tom.
No, I'm done.
No, it's a great point to make. Paulie, what do you think? You think your Super Bowl champion's going to be able to cover the spread this week?
I am going to pick them. I agree with Chip here. This is 7.5 here.
Well, you don't agree with Chip. Oh, okay. I mean,
it's a lot here. I think the difference for me is in LA. I don't know how their crowd is or anything like that in that new stadium, but
I'm sure LeBron will be there.
I think Tennessee is usually pretty tough in Tennessee, but on the road, I got to go with LA here.
I am going to roll with Chip on this one. I think Vrabel's the kind of coach that's going to get up for this game on national television, have a couple trick plays in his back pocket, try to do his best Dan Campbell impression to sneak a win out here. I don't think they'll do it, but I think it'll be – I used to be the score guy. I'll go with 35-31 Rams. I think this will be a fun matchup. And now I know there's everyone's favorite segment of the week. We have Lock of the Week. And for Chris and Webb, who I'm sure are not privy to it, is you have to pick one game that's going to count either double for you or add on. And we can't repeat the games. Now, I'm going to let Chris go first if he wants to because he's our guest. And I know Weber isn't probably ready with his Lock of the Week, so I'll give him a little bit of time.
And it can be any of these games that we already chose.
It could be already chose or of the other lines as well.
Okay. You know what the hell with it. I'm going to go my Lock of the Week. Cleveland, Cincinnati, Cleveland covering.
There it is.
Yeah.
Surprise.
I'm a believer, boys.
He just wants to build confidence in the organization. I love to see that from you, Chris, the positivity going. Kyle, I know Webb's probably still not ready with his Lock of the Week, so I'll give you the floor since you got the most ground to make up.
I can't say I'm not going to pick a winless team for my Lock of the Week this week. I'm going to go Chargers at Eagles plus 2.5. I think they get back on track, and I just don't think Philly and them are on the same level. So LA Chargers for my Lock of the Week.
Minus 2.5, you said?
Yeah, they're plus 2.5 at Philly.
The Chargers are underdogs? No fucking way.
Think so.
No, they're two. Well,
Either way, I'll take them. I'll take them 2.5. I'll take it. They're gonna win this game.
Tom, you seeing the spread somewhere? No,
yeah,
they're 2-point favorites. I don't. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I'll take them. I'll still take them as my lock.
Tom, you got a lock ready, or Webb?
That was
you want
gonna,
to take it?
that was going to be mine. So
okay, Webb, you got a lock ready?
It might be the Cardinals over the Niners.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad take. You want me to lock it in for you, or you consider something else?
Chicago Monday night game.
What's that line at against the Steelers?
It's 6.5 Pittsburgh.
That's a lot too.
But Pittsburgh,
But I think it's either going to be really close or it's going to be a blowout, and that's how. If Matt Nagy's coaching, yeah, it's probably going to be a blowout.
So you stick with the Cardinals. Indecisive
I
Webb.
don't really want to go with the Steelers, I guess. It's at the Steelers too, which is going to be it's going to be a good game. But the way
let's go, Khabib.
All right, yeah, we'll go ahead with the Cardinals.
Tom, have you had enough time to decide your lock of the week?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Giants at home against the Raiders.
Fuck. God damn it.
I like that one too.
What's the line
So-
at, Tom?
3.
For the good audience.
All right.
All right. So I'm sitting here looking at the board. My top two have been snagged. I can't go New Orleans with Simeon, right? I mean, that'd be deplorable.
Is it Trevor Simeon? I thought it was
For
Mormon.
the Saints, no, it's Simeon. I'm gonna go with New England. I'm gonna go with New England minus 3.5. I think
Doubling down.
I think this New England team has caught fire at the right time, at least to make this selection. We'll see if they're able to keep it going, but I really like this New England team, and I think they could win a playoff game or two. Does anybody have anything they want to add to it, or any other conversation topics they want to get to?
Don't drink and drive. Drink responsibly.
I think that's very important.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very responsibly. But if you get caught, remember, Tony Busby is the lawyer to get, because that is Deshaun Watson's lawyer, I found out. And apparently that guy is just holding on for dear life. And you know what? Everyone involved, go get him. We can delete this portion out of the freaking podcast.
No, it's been a pleasure having our first two guests on the pod, our baseball correspondents. I can't have any complaints. Webb, you got anything to plug?
To what?
Anything to plug?
Yeah, well, anything to plug?
Plug.
Anything to plug, Webb, before we head out?
You know,
You're-
big sports topics coming up this week to look for anything outside of sports.
Yeah, do you
we
wanna-
kinda like to be a little lifestyle podcast too sometimes?
Or you give us your Twitter handle. You're gonna break anything?
Oh, yeah, I'll give you my Twitter handle.
At
Hang on, my dogs are barking. Hang on, let me check the ring out. Hang on.
Clubhouse Sports MLB correspondent.
while Webb tries to figure out what he's going to plug, Chris, would you like to plug anything?
No.
Nothing to plug?
No.
All right.
Doom sucked.
What's that? Dune?
Doom sucked.
You got at least like 30 seconds on Dune if you want to just give your take.
It's Avatar with no fun. And you know that point, that's like the hero of the story. He has the freaking acting ability like Hayden Christensen.
I wish I could riff off that and I knew anything about movies.
That's all right.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Got
Check
weird
out,
eyes.
check out Little Mason 13 on your local social media platforms. Webb, figure out your Twitter handle. I know you struggle with account passwords and usernames.
Webb's World.
Twitter is Weber _ Alec. Maybe I think it's a double underscore. But yeah, for any hot takes, I don't think I've tweeted in about 3 years there, but do definitely retweet favorite things there. So if you're looking for the latest and the hottest, favorites. Interesting news. I don't know. It's really Pat McAfee. I love watching Pat McAfee. If you guys want that sports news.
We support Pat McAfee.
Plugs. He said the plugs.
Plugging Pat McAfee. He doesn't even pay us to do that.
Plugging another podcast.
Would love to get on his podcast. I mean, theirs is a show. Theirs is a whole. I mean, that's
yeah. No, it's fun as fuck. Tom, I know you've got something to plug this week, and you're still trying to get recruiting some guests out there.
At Clubhouse Sports Pod on Twitter.
No, you got something more important to plug this weekend.
There's a big one. The pod's coming to town, right?
Yeah, the pod's coming to Tampa. The Tampa Trippy Trip. We're going to be hosting a 3 a.m. Sunday morning pod. Back when we get back home from the bars, we're just gonna riff, see what happens.
Oh, hey, let me know. I'll hop on.
All right, so we're signing off.
Brent, you got any plugs?
No, I'm just really excited for the Trippy Trip. I think it's gonna be special. We'd really like to have Chip and Webb, but we know they have very busy schedules and dogs to raise, so we'd hate to take any of their time.
Yeah, I hope.
I asked you first.
Dogs to raise and beers to drink.
Yep.
Cheers, motherfuckers.
So, hey, thanks to our guests. Web's off, but Chip, thank you. And hey, Trippy Tampa, big things coming for the pod, something different. So we'll see how this weekend goes, and if there is a pod next weekend.
Good seeing you, Chip.
So,
See you guys.
all right, guys, see you.
Lip balm up.
What time are you guys coming?
Our
time
flight leaves at 4:56, so we'll be in by like 7. So I think like 6:30 or 7. So
Sounds good. I'll be ready.
We'll text you on Thursday.